Hey guys, this is a tutorial that was requested by someone on the Overgrowth forum about how to make and import custom animations in Blender to use in Overgrowth. So yeah, let's get to it. Um, First thing is you just have to go to your data folder of the game. The easiest way is to use Sum Launcher and then go to Links, Data Folder. If you're using Steam, you can obviously go to your Steam folder like you normally do, and then like Common Overgrowth, right click that, show content, package contents, then find the data folder. The first thing you're going to want to do, if you haven't done this already, is before I start that, the version of Blender that you can use at the most that I found that works is Blender 2.55. Anything above that will not export right, I've found, and I believe others have found the same thing on the forum. So I recommend using Blender 2.55 for animations and skeletons and basically exporting stuff for Overgrowth. So yeah, you want to put all of these files into Blender 2.55 because those are the plugins that are going to allow you to export your animations and everything else later that'll make them work make them into the file format that Overgrowth wants. So after you've done that, go back to the data folder, click on Blender Files, that folder in the data, and look for a file called Rabbit Rig right here, and then you're going to want to open that. So there we go. So open that file, and we're good to go. So now that we have that open, to find animations. Now, to be honest, I have no clue how to set these up from scratch. I have never done it. The easiest way I've found to do it is to, when you have that file open, find this little box, and this has every animation that is in your game for Overgrowth in it. So I just find one that suits what I want to do, because this has everything from attacks to running to sheathing, to attaching items like collectible items to bones of the character. So like let's say I wanted to make a new weapon animation. So let's look in the search and let's do dog. Let's do dog sword swipe. Okay, so now that you have your animation open, you go to object mode and put it in pose mode. These are all those black things control different parts of the body, so you can manipulate it. There are a bunch of tutorials on YouTube and stuff that'll teach you how to do animation controls and all that, so I'm not really going to get into it. This tutorial is really just to how to set stuff up to put into Overgrowth. It's not really to explain how to do, like, how Blender works and all that. So one thing you need to know though, when you're making an attack animation, this attack impact, you have to have that. If that is not there, your animation after it's exported, when you use it in game, when you try to attack an enemy, your animation will play, but it'll just keep repeating. It will not actually inflict damage, because this, from my best of my knowledge, is what tells the game to implement the damage that is in the XML files of the attack. So it basically tells the game to actually physically hurt your enemy. Otherwise, without it, your game just replays the animation over and over and it doesn't do anything. So make sure that is there. Um, as for making the animation, I usually just delete all these keyframes except for these. Anything that belongs to the gray, do not delete. So any of these things that are gray, do not delete them or their keyframes, because for some reason that messes up the animation in game a lot. So let's just say let's say like in mid swing, I want his pelvis to go up. Just do something really weird. So there we go. So now it made a new keyframe. So now he jumps up really weird like. Okay, that's all we want to do for right now. So then we go export when you're ready, and you want to export it as a Phoenix animation. That's where those plugins that I talked about in the beginning come in. Because one of those plugins allows you to export it as a .anm file, or a Phoenix animation. So you export it. I export to my desktop, just so I know where it is. And let's call this the Toot Dog Sword Swing, just for the sake of simplicity. And you export. Give it a little while. And okay, I'm going to minimize this. I never quit out until the animation is how I like it, because then I don't really have to reopen the file every time. So next what you want to do is drop your animation either in, if it's for a custom weapon, put it with the other files for the weapon. Just make sure you know what file it's in. So if you go animations, which is just for the simplicity, that's where I put it. That if your file size is under 10 kilobytes, you've done something wrong. I've never had any type of animation for Overgrowth work under 10 kilobytes. For weapons at least, like something like 2, like this one for roll is really simple, but like for bigger animations, like weapons or even some attachments, stuff like that, I've never had it work when it's under 10 kilobytes. It either won't load it, the game won't load it, or it looks really, really buggy in game. So next what you're going to want to do is make an XML file for it. So, I already made an XML file for it. So basically what I did and what you do is you find either the XML file for the actual animation you copied, or something that's really close to it. So like the dog slash, or the dog sword slash, small sword slash, whatever. That was the closest one, so I duplicated it, renamed it, and then you open it, and right here where it says unblocked, you just do data, where it says data animations, you type in the name of your animation. So mine would be R Toot Dog Sword Swing .anm, and then you just do the same thing down here. So now we got the animation set up, and this is also where you put like the damage and the how far backward someone falls when hit with this weapon. You edit all that in here. The blood, how much blood is shown when attacked, when hit by this. All that. So then you would save this, and then if it's a weapon animation like this, you go find the item for the weapon, and I just duplicated one. So yeah. So then, now that I have that open, I would go to my attacks, and toot dog swing, or toot sword swing is what I have it named. So then what you would do is you would put it in one, either the stationary, the moving close, or stationary close. You would put the path to it in as one of those. It depends on when you want him to use this animation. If you want him to use it when he's like standing still but kind of far away, then you use stationary. If he's moving when he's attacking but he's kind of far away, then you use moving. If you want him moving but close, like you want him close up to your enemy, use that one. Or like in this case, I'm going to use the stationary close, which means he's really close up to the enemy, but he's not moving. So we have that in there. When you have it in there, you save it. And then I'm going to use Some Launcher to launch the game because I have it in Steam. And I don't feel like loading up Steam, so this is an easy way. Go. So then what you would do is load up a map. So I'm going to load this one. So now you're in game, and you want to use the weapon or animation for whatever you did. So what you do is item, this, and then go to where you place it if it's in a custom folder for yours. For the customs, but mine's in items. So item, dog sword, edit. There we go. And just so if you have to you're gonna have to tweak the animation, I always connect it to my player so that no one else picks it up. Like if you're fighting an enemy, test out the animation. So now I'm actually gonna do that. I'm going to load an enemy to fight. I don't have any on this map. So I hit C to turn off combat, just to make this easier. Now I'm going to get up close to him and attack. One more time. One more time. See, I jumped up. And there you go. That's basically all there is to it for making animations. Save this level for later. So that's all you really have to do. Thank you for watching this tutorial. If you have any questions or if I didn't explain something enough for you, please feel free to leave a comment on this video, and I will try to make a video that explains it a little better, or I can I can comment back if it's simple enough to explain under text. So yeah, thanks for watching. Hope this helped.